Live from downtown Detroit, home of WDIV and Click on Detroit, Local 4 News at 5 starts now.
They were just sitting in a parked car outside of a senior center when someone walked up and started shooting. And now tonight, Detroit police are looking for that gunman.
In just a matter of moments, the Detroit School District is going to be presenting its back-to-school plan to decision makers. But the teachers union says, hold on, you haven't even talked to us about it yet. I'll explain.
But we begin with brand new video showing the deadly confrontation between an Eaton County Sheriff's deputy and the suspect wanted for stabbing a man during an argument over wearing a mask.
Investigators say this all started because that man with the knife refused to wear a mask inside of a store.
This argument happened at the Quality Dairy in Windsor Township. It ended with a 77-year-old man suffering from stab wounds. Then a short time later, police caught up with the suspect in Delta Township, and that's where he was fatally shot. Let's get to Sean Lay live at the Quality Dairy tonight to walk us through this. Sean.
Let's give everyone the lay of the land here. The executive order from Governor Whitmer on masks coming down just 8 miles away from the State House from where I'm standing. Look at the front doors here at the store. You can see as soon as this man came here this morning, there are two signs that say no mask, no service. He was denied service, and when a man in line with him said, hey, where's your mask? People here absolutely stunned by what happened next.
Crazy, crazy, crazy.
This is the manager of the Quality Dairy convenience store in Diamonddale rolling up police tape after a shocking day. One customer stabbing a 77-year-old customer simply because that 77-year-old asked the man to put on a mask inside the store this morning. Can you believe it? Over a mask?
It's just nuts. Governor doesn't realize what she's doing.
Do you feel in danger if you got to tell someone to mask up? That 77-year-old was rushed to the hospital. He went into surgery. Tonight we're told he's going to survive. The man with the knife, state police tell the local 4 defenders, is 43-year-old Sean Ernest Rice from Grand Ledge. The next part is caught on home security camera. Rice was driving home after the stabbing. He was actually on his own street in Grand Ledge when an Eaton County Sheriff's deputy pulled him over. You can see Rice coming towards the deputy and not stopping. MSP says he had the knife in his hands. That deputy, she's been with her department for nearly 23 years. She opened fire at least 9 times, MSP says, to protect herself, killing Rice. Back at the shop, where the signs for wearing masks are all over. People can't believe being asked to wear a mask has turned to this.
I'm sad, and I'm horrified that something so trivial should cost this type of anguish, and it's just a mask.
What do you make of this, just over the mask situation?
Yeah, it's ridiculous. I mean, it's for people's safety, so just put it on.
Let's talk about the 77-year-old who was stabbed. The sheriff just updated his condition as serious right now. Sean Rice, the man who was shot by the sheriff's deputy, does have a criminal record. He did time for home invasion. Bottom line here, guys, people absolutely stunned by what happened here over a mask. Back to you.
Well, and masks are on so many people's minds right now, Sean. We know this has been actually leading to a lot of 911 calls right now because of it.
Yeah, yesterday, Governor Whitmer's day 1 of her ramped up Mask Up campaign. And different dispatch centers around Metro Detroit were flooded. We've been listening to some of those calls this afternoon. We'll play some for you at 6 o'clock and tell you what different police departments, how they're responding or not responding to all those calls.
Yeah. All right, Sean, we will see you again at 6. Meanwhile, other news at this hour, they were sitting in a parked car when somebody walked up and just started shooting.
It happened this afternoon on West Grand Boulevard, not far from the Motown Museum. Police on the scene rushed that pair to the hospital. Priya Mann is live tonight as the hunt for the shooter is underway right now. Priya.
Yeah, that's right, Karen. Police say the gunman got away in a red Durango, but he walked up to the vehicle and opened fire. And at one point, one of the victims was able to get out of the vehicle screaming for help. And police say as that gunman ran to the red Durango, he turned back and kept shooting.
We've got several casings on the ground right now. Multiple shots were fired into the vehicle.
A man and woman sitting in a parked car outside a senior center on West Grand and 14th were shot multiple times by a gunman who walked up and opened fire. Does it seem to you that this was a targeted shooting?
It's early. However, just to focus on that, we can't rule it out at this point. We don't know.
Detroit police say the man walked up to the driver's side of the vehicle and started shooting. He then walked to the passenger side and continued to fire. The brazen shooting happened around 1 Tuesday afternoon, less than half a mile away from Henry Ford Hospital.
We're interviewing several possible witnesses to piece our story. So it's very early. The investigation is ongoing, but that's what we have thus far.
Detroit police say the gunman then got into a red older model Durango. It's not clear if there was a getaway driver or if he drove himself. A 28-year-old man and a 22-year-old woman were rushed to the hospital in critical condition.
Certainly the violence, it's unacceptable. There's no excuse. Whatever the grievances or issues that they may have had, resorting to violence, especially gunfire, in this heavily populated area. There's a senior home right here in the backdrop of this. Totally unacceptable.
And you can see seniors sitting in the shade. That's right where the shooting happened. Police are talking to them. And there's also a business across the street that's a green light business. Police are going to be taking a look at that surveillance video as well. Anyone with information has to call DPD. Reporting live from Northwest Detroit, I'm Priya Mann, Local 4.
All right, Priya, let's move to coronavirus and the latest on COVID-19. Another uptick to report in today's numbers. In the past 24 hours, 584 more people have tested positive across the state. The state also reports 6 more deaths from the virus. Late this afternoon, Governor Whitmer extending Michigan's state of emergency order, so it now runs through August 11th. Now, for the first time, the leaders of the Detroit Teachers Union are weighing in on DPSCD's plan for students to return to the classrooms in the fall.
And that includes the issue of hazard pay. As our Paula Tutman reports, their biggest issue is making sure the district is listening to their concerns.
When you look at the back-to-school plan being presented this evening, you'll see a plan that calls for a hybrid learning model. Limited class sizes of 20, no more than a 6-hour school day, possibly rotating schedules. But according to the Detroit Federation of Teachers, which represents the more than 4,000 district teachers and other staffers, what you don't see is their collective voices through the leadership of their union.
We believe the plan has a number of holes in it, and that's what you see relative to the protests that you've seen over the past week or so. It's the community's response to not being involved and being engaged in the planning process on the front end.
The DFT is currently negotiating its next 3-year contract with the district, and yes, there will be language that addresses the COVID response, but in terms of the actual back-to-school document?
I'm going to listen to my membership. We're going to have science really guide us in the decisions that we make.
The one easy agreement is Superintendent Dr. Nikolai Viti's suggestion that teachers who opt for in-person teaching should get what amounts to hazard pay.
We certainly welcome that sort of pay for our teachers who I know are going to be on the front lines and really at a level of risk, and should certainly at the very least be compensated for that.
Today we are exactly 8 weeks from the start of Detroit's school year, 56 days. And one thing that is certain is Detroit's teachers are not certain in the least that they will return to teaching online or in person.
We can't say definitively one way or the other what's going to happen, but I can assure you that my membership is going to speak loudly if we are not satisfied with what happens at the bargaining table, or if we're not satisfied what happens relative to our COVID response.
Now, keep in mind, these contract negotiations are still going on, and I'm being told they're actually going pretty well. Things that they've already come to agreement on, some things that they haven't, but obviously teachers want a voice in this back-to-school plan before they consider getting back into the classroom virtually or in person. Paula Tutman, Local 4.
Paula, let's stay with this because the American Academy of Pediatrics, of course, recently spoke out in favor of sending children back to the classroom this fall. But last Friday, the organization issued a second statement that walked the first one back a little bit.
So today, we talked with the president of the Michigan chapter about the key factors pediatricians say need to be considered. Our Dr. Frank McGeorge joins us with that. Doctor?
Yeah, Karen and Devin, this is a complicated issue. The American Academy of Pediatrics said all plans should begin with the goal of returning kids to the classroom, but they fully acknowledge that will not be possible in all places, all schools, or for all children.
We think if the right safety measures are in place, the vast majority of children would be safe and would benefit from being physically present in the schools.
But that won't be possible without sufficient funding up front, says Dr. Sharon Swindell.
We have to invest in the schools. We can't require them to open without the funding to do so safely.
And those safety measures must protect staff as well.
There are staff and teachers in the school that will be susceptible and will be susceptible to getting quite sick.
Dr. Swindell says there are 3 W's that are must-haves for reopening: washing hands frequently, wearing masks, and watching your distance. 3 to 6 feet between student desks, at least 6 feet from the teacher. Swindell says younger children may not need to wear masks if there is sufficient space in a school, but she believes they can.
If the adults around the children have buy-in about cloth face coverings, masks, and are working with the children to acclimate them to wearing them and model wearing them, a 5-year-old is perfectly capable of wearing a mask for a period of time.
Ultimately, parents will need to evaluate their school's plan, the level of cases in the community, and the individual risks and benefits.
We know that anything we do in any setting will mitigate the risk. It will not eliminate the risk. I think for each child, it's going to be slightly different. For each family, it's going to be slightly different in terms of what that risk might be.
Now, Swindell has 2 grown sons, and we asked if she would send them to school if they were in elementary school right now. She says she would if she was comfortable with the school's plan and if others in her community were following guidelines. Now, one of her sons had asthma, so that would have been another factor she would have consulted his pediatrician about. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Doc. The Trump administration has rescinded a rule that would have required international students to transfer schools or leave the country if their colleges hold classes entirely online this fall because of the coronavirus pandemic. The rule said foreign students on F1 and M1 visas would need to take at least some courses in person in order to legally remain in the U.S. in the fall semester.
By the way, we should quickly mention we are awaiting a briefing from the president addressing the latest on the coronavirus crisis and pandemic. As soon as that happens in the Rose Garden at the White House, we will take you to Washington Live. In the meantime, let's head over to Ben and see what we've got coming today. Ben.
Karen and Devin, we are in the statistically hottest part of the year in Detroit. So when we get a day like today, savor it because it isn't going to last long. The heat is coming back quick. We'll look at that next.
A Detroit high school grad has 2.3 million reasons to be proud of himself, the record he set, and how he credits his late parents for helping him do it. Rod.
It is exceptionally frightening, the idea that you could be arrested and sentenced for life in prison for something you didn't do.
It's just overwhelming. A lot of grief, a lot of anxiety.
And it was the government that actually helped free him. We'll have his amazing story.